Hello everybody. In the previous video, we have seen that phrase structure grammars based on context-free grammar formalism cannot account for natural language properties. In this video, we will look for a solution to account for natural languages. Let's begin with defects of phrase structure grammars. Particularly, we are going to look at two defects. Firstly, context-free phrase structure grammars cannot adequately describe the co-occurrence restriction. Each word requires another particular word or particular phrase to occur with. That's what we call co-occurrence restriction. For instance, some verbs take an object, some others don't take an object at all. Right. Also, what kind of a noun phrase can precede a verb is conditioned by that verb. For example, the verb form loves needs a third person singular noun phrase preceding it, while the verb form love requires a plural subject or first person or second person singular subjects. Right. Secondly, context-free grammars cannot reflect the headedness of phrases in human languages. That is, the rules of context-free grammars are arbitrary in nature. For example, context-free grammar may allow a noun phrase to contain an adjective and a prepositional phrase without a noun heading that phrase. Let's look for a solution. Our solution depends on our realization. We should realize that the grammatical categories which we have been talking about are not atomic in nature, but they are complexes of grammatical properties. We shall decompose all grammatical categories into their component parts. That's the only solution we have. Now, how are we going to do that? Let's look at the features each grammatical category can be decomposed into. So, we know each lexical category is a complex of grammatical properties. To model such complexes, we use the notion which is standardly called feature structure. Feature structure consists of a set of features with a set of values assigned to them. A feature structure contains a set of features and each feature has a value with it. Right? Like what we have here, feature 1 has value 1, feature 2 has value 2, etc. Feature 3 has value 3, and so on. So if you are going to model this and have a grammatical category, it looks as follows. Like boy. Boy is the word and it has two features. Pause. Pause is parts of speech is a feature and it has the value noun. Similarly, it has another feature number, num, which is singular. The singular is the value of num. So boy is a lexical item with two features, parts of speech which has the value noun and number which has the value of singular. Right? That makes a feature structure. Consider three entities. In fact, the world is made up of several entities. We are looking at three entities now. A university, individual, a department. All of them have names, right? That is, all of them have a feature which is name, and all of them can have telephones. A university will have a telephone, an individual may also have a telephone, a department will also have a telephone. So they have telephone number with them. So two features we can say which are common to all of them, to all the three. However, they have different values. University's number may not be same as the individual's telephone number or the telephone number of the department. Now, the university has name, its value is EFLU, and it has telephone number which is 27689400. Similarly, an individual has two same features, name and telephone, but values are different and department also has two features, which has two different values. Remember, we have written entities in italics, right? They are entities. Now all the three are different entities because each one has its own special properties. What are the special properties? A university will have a vice chancellor, right? We cannot have a vice chancellor for a department, or we cannot have a vice chancellor for an individual. That kind of feature. But an individual can have date of birth as its feature. Similarly, a department will have a head. So each one is different because each one has a special or a specific property, right? However, they have two common features. That means all the three are entities with two common features, but they are different with different values, and also each one has specific feature. That is, entity is a type and university, individual, department are subtypes. What we see here is a hierarchy, right? We see a hierarchy between types and subtypes, and whatever features a type has will be inherited by subtypes. In addition to those features, subtypes will have more features. For example, all the three have name and telephone. So an entity has, let's say, a name and a telephone as its features. So all the three entities have inherited those two features. But in addition to those two features, each entity has a specific feature, which is vice chancellor for the university, date of birth feature for the individual, and head for the department. So if you add those features, now each one is complete in its set of features. So university has name EFLU, VC as its feature, has XXX as the name, and telephone number is this. Similarly, individual and department, right? That means each one of these is a subtype of entity, and a subtype inherits certain features from supertype, and in addition it has its own features. Let's look at another concept which is necessary for our grammar. The concept is unification. Unification is a method, it's a general method, and it allows two compatible descriptions to put the information together into a single description. It means you have two sets of features which are compatible with each other. That means there is no inconsistency between them. Those two are put together to make a single description, single large description, right? So two feature structures can unify if they are consistent, only if they are consistent. That is, they do not contain any conflicting information or any conflicting types or different atomic values for the same feature. Let's take examples. Here are four feature structures. University, the feature name with the value EFLU. You have another, again university, but the feature is name, but the value is different. So these two are not compatible with each other. You cannot unify them because though they have the same features, but the values are different. Let's look at the C and D. C is individual, D is department. They are two different types. So they are not consistent. So two feature structures, if they are belong to two different types, then they are not consistent. Similarly, even if the two feature structures have belong to the same type, if they have two different feature values, they are not consistent. So you cannot unify A and B, you cannot unify C and D, or you cannot unify any A and C or A and D. What can be unified? Look at this. You have, let's say, feature structure telephone number 27689400. This feature structure can be unified with any of the feature structures which we have seen earlier, universities or individuals and departments. So when you unify this telephone feature structure with the university, the resulting feature structure is this. That is, we are putting together the information contained in two feature structures, right? That is unification. And a third concept which we need to know is tagging. You may have two features in two different feature structures which may have the same value. That we have already seen, we have seen earlier two feature structures with the same feature but different values, EFLU and HCU. But what we are saying here is two features in two different feature structures which may have the same value. Like you have two feature structures here, individual and department, two types, and which have two features. Name is a feature and telephone is another feature, and the value of name is Hari and the value of telephone number is 27689623. Department is again another feature structure. It has a feature structure which has head and telephone number as the features, and the values, head value is Hari, right? Let's say Hari is the head of the department. So who is the head of the department? Hari. So it is same as this. And look at the telephone number. Telephone number is also the same. So what we are doing is we are putting in boxes, right? We are putting in boxes some digits, and the digits which we use for a particular value, if it is written in another feature structure, then they share the same value, right? That is, this is what we call tagging. So this means the value of name in individual is shared with the value of head feature in the department, right? That is tagging. So these three concepts which we need to remember along with feature structures, so that we are into new formalism, right? Let's meet in the next video.